Good afternoon. I would like to call the Committee of Government Operations to order, please. Madam Clerk, if you would please take roll call.
Commissioner Wilson, Commissioner Peterson Mayberry, Commissioner Knizek, Commissioner Colleen, Chair Clemente.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item, please.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. And other than we will be using our tablets for voting. Everyone, thank you. Next item.
Commissioner Colleen has now joined the meeting. Moving to item C, approval of the January 28th, 2026 meeting minutes.
And I have a motion from Commissioner Peterson Mayberry and a second from Commissioner Clean. If you would please vote on your tablet.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item, please.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, let's go to item number 1, please.
Item 1, under new business, requesting commission approval of an addendum to a cooperative agreement with American Interiors for the purchase and installation of office furniture for the Department of Management and Budget, Asset and Equalization Division.
And is there someone here for this item, please? If you would come to the table and introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon, Scott Vandenbergel, Director of Assessment and Equalization. Happy to revisit this issue and bring it to the finish line very soon, hopefully. This pertains to the future office move from the Assessment and Equalization Division from the 21st floor to the 26th floor of the building. How much of the backstory would you like to hear, or would you like me to talk just about the contract itself?
Yeah, just about the contract, please.
Okay, all right. I tend to get carried away. So
That's okay. That's
rein
okay.
me in, please.
Yeah, okay.
So the contract is with the office furniture partner of ours that we've used before, that we've had success with. They've done a lot of work for the county for various projects for the CHC and within M&B. And the company that we used a couple of years ago was assumed by the current company, American Interiors. So we used Mark's Moda, which was formerly down the street here in Griswold, and that was assumed by it was swallowed by American Interiors. And we're using some of the same vendors for content, or the same materials vendors for continuity, so that there's a similar look and feel between the 26th floor and the 21st floor, where some other office furniture was procured a couple of years ago, so that there's continuity. Looks professional, is very functional.
Perfect. Commissioners, any questions about this contract? And about how long do you think before things will be finished, let's say?
The vendor has apprised us that it should take approximately from the date that the contract is signed, so presumably if
Right,
go to the full board next week,
right.
6 to 8 weeks. So that would put things, 6 weeks from Valentine's Day-ish is about April 1st to April 15th, in that couple of weeks window, probably, depending on weather and delivery and transportation and things like that. So I would say, just off the top of my head, 2 months from today.
Okay, and we have one question, or a question from Commissioner Peterson Mayberry.
Just one question. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
One question through the chair. Did the employees have any input in any of the work? Can you just talk about that really quickly? Because I know oftentimes
Yes.
they don't feel like they've been included or had say. So can you just talk about that?
Yes, very much so. The employees come in all shapes and sizes, and the workstations were adequately sized for the entire workforce to be functional and ergonomic. We have good quality seats so that people that have, like me, that have a bad back and potential mobility issues, they'll be comfortable and productive. The workstations themselves, the horizontal main work surface, has functionality to rise and lower. So there's that notion of some people like to work standing up. They feel more productive, or they just want to get the blood flowing a little bit. So it's a very modern set of equipment that we're contemplating. And we did very much talk to the employees on what they like, and there's a preference for standing and sitting. It's having adequate room for individual persons personal space and mobility. So those things were considered. I mean, even things like the color scheme. Yeah, I mean, I mean, right. It's a little thing, but it pertains to the morale. It's a very professional, cheerful office that I think lends to positivity and productivity. And people want to feel good about themselves and their work, and that they're coming to an important place and they're working on important things, which they are. And the office is a reflection of that philosophy.
Thank you. That's really good to hear because oftentimes, the employees, they don't own it because they have not been included. And I know there are certain decisions in which they can't, but it's really good to hear that the employees had some say so kind of and recommended some things that we were able to deliver on.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, that's very much the case that that everyone was included into the process. I mean, ultimately, the commission makes the final decision, but that is the product of the entire team. It's not just the leadership. And speaking of leadership, I'm not sure how often this committee or individual members of the committee have interacted with my counterpart, Latoya Haygood, who is the assistant director. I want to give her credit. She took the lead on this project.
Latoya,
And-
why don't you come up here so we can see you?
Okay, all right. You're putting her in a hot seat too.
Yes.
I just wanted to acknowledge her. She took the lead on it. It's a very complicated project because the building's 100 years old, and the building required that portion of the floor, which is this north side, it was on the south side of the building. It hadn't been occupied in 25 years, something like that. So there's extensive plaster damage on the walls. The floor was unlevel. It had inadequate electrical for modern office equipment. It didn't have data lines because last time it was occupied, it predated that technology. So there were a lot of infrastructure things that are now covered up and painted and look good, but it took a lot of lead time and effort to get there. And I know we talked the other day toward this matter, and I wanted to point out too that we used building trades from Wayne County. We used our county staff to keep them working. It was unionized labor from the county payroll, and that kept them working and gave them the opportunity to participate. And it also held down costs. So, I mean, this is an expensive contract. There's no doubt about it, but it's super high quality stuff that will make people very productive and, have a good sharp work focus. But we also were able to, cut or mitigate costs where we could by using internal labor instead of just, pricing, bidding it all out.
And you were starting from bare bones, so that's good. Well, thank you. And Commissioner Peterson, maybe are you?
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's my next question. So
Okay.
we already there.
Perfect.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal you. No, but I wanted to make sure that Ms. Haygood got recognition for the efforts that she put in because, I mean, as if things aren't already complicated enough for the things that go on in the office, as a project manager, essentially, Latoya knocked it out of the park for managing all these moving parts to be able to put all this together.
And we have another question from Commissioner Clean.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Mr. Van der Myrtle. I'm not going to ask you how it was that you were assigned an abandoned corner of this building. I'm going to leave that be.
I could answer it.
But that's okay. We'll talk in the hallway or in the parking lot.
Okay. All right.
But I did want to compliment you in reading through this. You've hired 3 more people in this department, and this is a very overlooked department until you actually send out the assessments. And every city manager calls me in my district. But your commitment to not outsourcing any of your work. So I just wanted to congratulate you for that.
Thank you. And we have the person, again, I'm going to deflect. I appreciate it. And I'm going to deflect that thanks to my counterpart.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, it was wonderful to read. Thank you, Madam
Yes,
Chair.
thank you very much. We can take a motion for this, which I have from Commissioner Clean and second from Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. If you'd vote on your tablets, please.
Motion carried.
Thank you so much for being here and thank you for your work. Really
Thank you, ma'am.
appreciate it.
And
Yeah, oh,
a
yes.
couple
Yeah.
of you have asked for the grand tour. So it had to look worse before it looks better. It's in a little bit of the looking better stage, but I do have those pictures that we mentioned about the worst stage.
Okay.
But we want to be very hospitable and accommodating. So we definitely would like to court your presence on the floor at your convenience.
All right. Very good. Thank you for that. Okay, Madam Clerk, if we could please move on to item number 2.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of Amendment 2 to a 5-year contract with a 2-year option to renew with Granicus LLC to add new software solutions that extend the public-facing capabilities of the county's website as well as professional services to enable technical and consulting teams to assist in providing best-in-class solutions.
Okay, and if you could please join us at the table.
Greg Boss, Division Director, Enterprise Applications.
Hector
Rowan, Director of Information Technologies, Wayne County.
All right, so how long has our new website been up and functional now?
About 8 months.
About 8 months.
Mhm.
And how is the feedback about what's going on
Generally
with the
speaking, we
website?
get overwhelmingly positive feedback on usability. And we also get really good ratings overall, as compared to what we had previously.
Okay, and we're adding,
So
What?
what this is adding on for us, it's kind of creating a capability for us to be able to take service requests from the general public across different areas within the county that we can potentially configure to accept the general public being able to come in and say, for example, hey, I need help with fixing something in my in my neighborhood. I've got a road issue, or I've got an issue that I need help with as it relates to the ombudsman. So I need to talk to the ombudsman about something. I have a complaint about something that I want to take care of, or I have some other service that some other division or department provides that they don't have a kind of an intake process for today. We can digitize that and provide that intake process for them, which will then allow us to kind of create cases that get tracked through the course of its life from the time that the public submits it until it gets closed out. And then we can generate reporting off of that, and create service quality enhancements, things like that. It's very similar to what we have with our service desk today, except it's outward facing.
I know you've talked about this before, and it's each individual department you're working with them for these different intakes that come in.
Yeah,
Because DPS has like their road number.
Mhm.
So are you enhancing that for them or?
Yeah, so this platform will actually provide additional capabilities for them in the future should they choose to move in that direction. It will provide kind of a best-in-class integration capability with CityWorks so that in real time, when somebody submits a request saying that a pothole out there needs to be fixed, right now, what happens is they do that through a different interface. It feeds into CityWorks, but there's not anything that translates back to the end user so that the end user can actually see what's happening, right? So this will actually in real time allow for that, should they choose to go in that direction in the future. But that's just kind of scratching the surface of the possibilities that we have with the kinds of integrations that we can create with this.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions about this contract? Commissioner Clean?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we've been up and running for 8 months. Was this considered is this like part of the original plan for the website, or is this something that has arisen since we've gone live?
Did you want to talk to them?
This is something that has arisen since we've gone live. We are looking to, and I'm sure we've all you guys receive complaints as well, that when someone submits like a request or an issue to the county, they don't get feedback, or it's months and months since their ticket, they don't get any updates. So we're looking at a solution to help remediate that issue. And this is one of the better solutions that we found. And then it also integrates with our website. It can integrate with CityWorks. But yes, it's in addition to.
So is this we're kind of like finding things out as the new website has
Yeah.
gone up
Yeah.
and saying we have to,
Mhm.
because for instance, you hit a pothole, you ruin your front end on a county road. try to find those documents on the county website for a citizen to submit. Here you're talking about filling potholes, but we have any number of things that are buried deep within the website to interact. So is there like an ongoing review with all of the things that paperwork and whatnot that citizens need to submit to have access to the county? Would this also include the clerk and the sheriff and everybody else, all the other elected officers?
Yeah.
So how far reaching is this? Or because now that we have this, I'm thinking, okay, another 6 months is going to go by and it's going to be like, well, we need to bring in so is this taking care of all of those kind of requests, as we say, interfacing with the public that need to contact Wayne County? Have we gone through all of what those things might be?
Yeah.
And we're doing it right here now?
So that's a really great question. So I think you guys are aware when we went through the transformation with the website, we kind of went with the services first approach. So in our new website, our navigation menu actually contains services as one of the key focus items. That actually will create a pathway for us to open up these service requests that will feed into this system, all from the services menu. So we've identified the services, the key services across the county. This actually creates the connector from those services that may be manually managed today to take the next step and start to digitize and transform how we're managing the intake and the management of the processing of those service requests going forward.
So we've gone through everything that there might be, and I don't know how you define a service request, but you've gone through everything where the public might want to submit a request for something through the county. And those are all covered by what we're looking at here today.
A vast majority of the non-digitized processes that exist today that you can get to across the different departments.
Non-digitized process.
So like say you need to file a request to get some license or to process something for a permit for something, right?
Yeah, what if you want to get your CPL license and you got to set up through the clerk's office, you got to set up a.
That's all manually driven today.
Yes, it is.
And so this framework that we're bringing into the county will allow someone that's interested in applying for that permit to go to one page, say, I want this permit, submit the request to start the process of processing for that permit, and then it will create a ticket in the back end for the clerk or whoever's going to be managing it to manage that through to its conclusion. So they're not filling out paper, taking it to the office anymore. It's kind of transforming away from anything paper-based and moving it to fully digital.
So I'm on your website right now, and that explanation, it says right here, easy 1, 2, 3. So you can complete the CPL application and schedule appointment all right there on the website. So that's something that's already we can do right now instead of having to fill out paper and take it down to the clerk's
Well,
office.
you're filling a form out.
I wanted to go a
right?
little deeper in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're filling a form out, but then it
You have
kind
to
of
print it.
disappears. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's other things that you have to do in conjunction with it. So it's not really kind of unified. It's a little bit disjointed.
Okay. Just because I've not spent enough time on the website to know exactly what, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Commissioner Kling, but I was just trying to figure out like what you want to be able to submit it online.
Well, what I'm getting at here is, because this is going to take the cooperation of people in the sheriff's department, the clerk, prosecutor, perhaps. So now that we have this, let's say the clerk, when it comes to CPL, have they dedicated whatever resources they need to
Those are conversations
to do this? Because I don't want people submitting this because we have a fancy new schedule, real easy, and then it goes somewhere where it just sits because at the other end, there hasn't been the commitment to use this tool.
So we've actually, as part of this website project overall. I think we've transformed a number of paper-based processes and digitized them into something that we've got with our website now called Open Forms, where if you say you want a boat license or you want a fishing license, in the past, they would have to go to parks. They would fill out a form for parks. They would take it into the office. It would get processed. We have something called Open Forms today that allows them to fill out the form, gets processed in the background, accepts the payment, and moves it forward. That's been one step in a journey of digitization. I think we've been fairly successful with. Where we're looking to take this is to take it in the direction of, if you have something from a request perspective that somebody needs help with, in a specific area, like with the treasurer, they need help with something as it relates to taxes. And right now they're calling them, interacting with them in the office and things like that. We want to open up the capability for them to be able to say, I need a specific issue with my taxes addressed, submit a request off of the website and have that request processed entirely digitally and tracked through the website for all the stakeholders involved, so that we can do things like report out on SLAs and stuff like that. We don't have that capability right now, but
Well, because we also need the stakeholders to pay attention to that.
That's
now that
right.
We have it there.
that's right.
And that's my
Yeah.
concern, because I'm sure this is the same for all commissioners, right?
Mhm.
A lot of the 1.8 million residents of Wayne County are pretty uninformed on county government
Mhm.
until there's a problem. And then the phone rings in my office and they're like, wow, somebody answered the phone. I've been calling 12 offices, right? And I finally got somebody. And so I don't want that to be the case here, where you submit a document and then, or request or whatever you need, and then you don't hear back, right? And that's as frustrating as, and then my phone rings,
Mhm.
right? I submitted it 5 times. So for tracking, who's responsible for tracking those requests and making sure they're closed out?
I got it. We're working with departments. So when a request comes in, the workflow is created of who
Yeah,
within
you
their
can't do
department.
that. So
Correct.
it's going to be up to each department.
Correct. Yes. Yes. And then we're going to work with them and develop a service level agreement. So if there's a permit or something that's stuck in with this group for so many
Yeah.
days, it's going to get escalated to their manager. So that's what we're trying to do is have a platform to improve efficiencies.
Now, it gets a little bit touchy, but let's just say, because it is going to happen, somebody's going to submit through the fancy dancy and then not hear, and then call my office. Who do I call? Do I call IT to say, hey, this never happened, and you talk to the department and say what? Or do I have to talk to the department directly? Who's making sure that this goes all the way to completion?
So there's going to be there will be notifications when SLAs, service level agreements, get breached as it relates to the handling of whatever the service
So you're
request
gonna,
is.
something's gonna pop up to notify the clerk, hey, this is 2 weeks overdue or something?
And it'll go to leadership as well in the form of email
Who's
notification.
leadership?
Within that department.
Yeah, within the department. So the department, we'll work with the departments.
Okay.
We'll have escalation paths configured, and we'll also have support groups configured as part of the process of developing service intake for them. And then, so like, if the person that's responsible for processing the request isn't getting that done within the agreed time limit, then the person that's responsible for overseeing that group is going to get
Notified.
notifications.
And that's done through your office.
It'll be done through the system. Yes,
Pardon me?
it'll be done through the system. It'll be done through, it's called OneView.
To the system that we're going to be implementing.
Automatically?
Yes,
Yes.
But you see all the data.
that's right. That's right.
So what I'm wondering is, and I don't know what you think about it, Madam Chair, that we get a periodic report from IT that would basically be like an aging of requests that were submitted through the website by citizens. how long did it take?
Mhm.
You know, for it to be responded to, how many never got responded to? You can generate those kind of,
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
and can you generate a report for maybe a quarterly
Mhm.
report to the commission, how that's going?
Absolutely.
Because this is, I mean, there's enough frustration with citizens out there already.
Mhm.
And when they don't get anything back from their government,
Mhm.
that's the worst.
Mhm.
That's the absolute worst.
Correct, and that's what we're trying to solve, and the system will also have the public can create an account so they can get their own status updates as well, so they can
Ugh.
see I submitted this
They
ticket
got to create an account.
without having to contact someone.
They don't, if
They don't have to.
Yeah,
They don't
I
want
know.
to, they won't need to.
But anyway, Madam Chair, and I think if we can get like
Yeah.
quarterly reports on
Mhm.
how this is going, is it really getting through? Are citizens really getting answers? Do they get answered within 5 days? Do they get answered within a month and a half? You know, just to see how it's going. So we can improve this process if needed.
Mhm.
Because this is like some nationwide company, right? They do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm concerned kind of about plug and play and not being sensitive to our specific needs here in the county,
Mhm.
that other things might pop up if it's just kind of a, is this an off the shelf product?
It is, but it will be customized for our specific needs and purposes. And the vendor is actually on the line with us right now to
Okay.
help represent.
And they're going to be talking to the various departments?
They'll be helping us.
About
and-
their
and
needs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
interact
yeah.
with the departments.
Is
and
it
get-
one department you're starting with, or is it just kind of, we're going to all of
I
them?
recognize the chair.
Sorry. Thank you, Commissioner.
You're
Clayton.
welcome.
So,
But
yeah, we're actually, I think we're gonna start with the executive's office to start with. They've got a new ombudsman that has an interest in actually doing a pilot with us for, you know, taking in complaints from the general public. And then from there, we've got some ideas that we'd like to work with DPS on in terms of enhancing the way that they're doing things from a service request intake process. And then from that point forward, we're hoping that you know, there will be some other interest that gets manifest as a result of what gets put out on the website, and we'll start as we're interacting and engaging with additional departments, getting more and more people with more ideas of, hey, it would be great if we could handle these service requests this way versus that.
so I think that Commissioner Kleen bringing up the report, so you're going to start with the executive's office first. And so will you be able to, in 6 months or 3 months, give us a report
Yes.
on this? Okay.
Absolutely.
Whoever, and then let us know also like what other departments are joining in once you've kind of
Mhm.
been doing that, because we do get reports about TPS, and that's always very helpful to know that they've been closed or they've been sent to where they need to send. I'm sorry, Commissioner Kleen, for interrupting, but sometimes I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, Commissioner Kleen.
Doing legislation. Thank you, man. You know, because there's also somewhere buried on the website, we run a TFAP program where we distribute surplus government food to communities
Mhm.
that they can distribute it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it's way out by the airport. Our building's out there. So for us to do it on the east side, we have to get St. John Hospital to loan us a stake truck to bring it back. But I lost touch with that program, and now I see somebody else, I saw somewhere else that somebody else has taken it up. So even at that level of depth, anything on the website where you click on something, that will now go through here. Like if you want to make a request for get TFAP in your area or any number of things.
The potential to configure that within OneView absolutely exists. It will need to be tied to a department's desire to want to have the system configured to handle those requests. And we're hoping once, you know, departments see these capabilities that they will enthusiastically work with us to configure those kinds of
So
things.
there's a buy-in here. There's not
A little
here's
bit.
the new system, learn
Yeah.
how to use it.
No, yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. There's a little bit of a sell here.
Activity,
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we scoured the whole website for anything like, because I'm sure TFAP is news to you.
Yeah,
And-
are you
and-
talking about Food Finder on off the Engage site? The Food Finder program?
I think he said surplus.
It doesn't sound like what I'm talking
No,
about.
okay.
Never heard of that
Okay,
before.
yeah, because if you go to Engage the engage.waynecountymi.gov right now, there's a microsite called Food Finder that's sponsored by HHPS, and it's got a bunch of different locations where food can be, where food can
No,
be
this
found.
is with government surplus food.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
because we had another program where our environmental department, people doing neighborhood cleanups would bring out a
Dumpster,
dump so that, what do you call them?
a rolling dumpster.
Yeah, rolling dumpsters so neighborhoods could get rid of and they had a way of getting rid of the tires that they picked up. We had an agreement, I
Yeah,
think, with the
yeah.
Wyandotte Power Plant where they chew them up. And
Mhm. Like mulch.
would something like that also be part of, when I say scouring the website for what citizens might be looking for,
Mhm.
I could see where that would be one of them. So is this going to be an ongoing effort then?
Absolutely.
We're
Yeah.
going to take some time because there's a lot of things like this. I don't know if you can find them all in a month and come up with the solution.
Correct. I mean, the intent is for the public to have one kind of avenue to submit requests instead of calling you or scouring a website. We want to make it easier for the public to access or request services.
But there's a ton of services
Mhm.
all over that website.
Yeah.
So eventually they're going to be collected all in one place.
Correct.
We don't have them nailed down right now, all of them.
Well, we're going to be working with departments to develop these workflows, make sure
Yeah.
they have the workers and the resources to,
And that would be
respond to these requests.
cooperating with this
Correct.
program.
Correct.
But the positive is if they are providing a service to the public today and they're manually managing that service, this will sell itself. This will.
Well, that's your
this
sales
will-
pitch to the department.
It absolutely will be. And
Yeah.
the reason being is that it's going to save them so much time and effort in just keeping track of that and managing those requests. Stuff won't get lost anymore. It'll just be easier overall for them. So we're really optimistic that this will be very well.
Well, you're also kind of testing Newton's law of motion here with inertia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't underestimate inertia in a bureaucratic organization. So, all right. Thank you for that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. So we have a question from Commissioner Peterson Mayberry.
Oh, okay. Just two quick ones, I promise. And it sounds like you were starting to go into one. We've heard about times when things are being implemented where the departments are not included. And so it makes I have to go back to the drawing board on some things. So you're saying that the departments have been included in terms of ask for what would work well for them. And have we thought about the gaps? So if there are some things that the departments could benefit from for digitization of all what we're doing, have we included those? That's the first question. The second one is, what is the marketing look like for our constituents and our stakeholders in the community to, one, know that this is available to them, and two, because as commissioners, we love to be able to promote this in our communities like we do the roads number, and the reports are amazing because I was going to ask for that as well. But those are my two around marketing and around department feedback and department needs and gaps.
Okay, yeah. So with regard to the departments that we've been working with, we've been focused mainly on taking things that they've been managing from a form-based perspective and digitizing those forms, also helping them digitize payment processing. This will allow us to additionally help them digitize service request handling. So we have been engaging with most of the divisions and departments across the county from the inception of this project overall. And we've been very fortunate to have a lot of really eager departments who have been willing to work with us to kind of take the next step in getting their forms digitized. And so we have right now, I'd say over 120 digitized forms that different departments are using for different functions across the entire landscape of the county that didn't exist before we started the website processing conversion to the new platform. This is kind of a similar thing. We'll go back around to these departments and divisions that we've worked with before, and we'll ask them, what services do you provide the general public today that you don't have a formal intake process on, and how can we help you digitize that? In addition to that, once those processes are digitized, they'll not only be made available on the website itself, but this also comes with a mobile application. So they'll be available in all the the Apple, Android stores and things like that. So that will help hopefully with adoption from the general public. And then as far as the marketing and whatnot goes.
Yeah, we'll definitely be working with the CEO's communications team to market this once we're ready, so the public can know the capabilities are there.
You're welcome. And then Commissioner Wilson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate it. My district categorically is inundated with calls from 3 townships that I proudly represent: Van Buren, Sumter, and Huron Township. At the end of the day, about 85% of the calls that come out of my district are from those 3 townships. And the biggest issue invariably are roads, flooding, culverts, grading, potholes, craters, however you want to signify that. But I guess so. So my question is, looks like we're going to invest about not to exceed $637,000, so about $2/3 we're going to approve for this project. And I guess going back to the 1-800-ROLLS number that my fellow commissioner Peterson Mayberry just alluded to. So at the end of the day, sirs, is this eventually designed to eliminate the 800 number road hazards number, or because I'm 90 years old, right? Or I'm 92 years old.
You don't look a day over 50.
Well, just well, I'm not 90. So, but if I was
on your landline,
so if I was 92 years old, the commissioner, the chair, just pulled up the website there, and you have to go through a series of like a litmus test, I guess. You have to, yes, forms you have to fill out. Because I know my mom is 92, so she has all kind of troubles, even with the phone. Every time I buy her phone, she says it's too fancy for her. So I tried to buy her phone 20 years ago, and she still can't use it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if people are that advanced in age and they're not literate, if you will, how in the heck are they going to get their issue resolved? We had one young lady here yesterday, and I don't know if you were looking at it, but she said she called 8 times to the DPS department director's office and never got a response back. So she had to come out here and sit in that chair and say, "Hey, I called 8 times. Who's gonna follow up on my concern that I have in my township?" I think it was in Canton. So I say all that to say this. This is obviously looks like a good program, because we need all the help that we can get to try and get some of these issues addressed. Because at the end of the day, when folks paying taxes and they can't get their issues resolved, they're going to come to the commissioners, especially if it's an intergovernmental issue. And townships, as you know, the county is their holy grail. So how can you respond to that, sir? And again, I appreciate this. It looks great. I sure hope it works. But help me out, please. Because I'd love to put it in my newsletter and say, "Hey, look, we got a new program. Y'all call this in 24 hours. That road will be patched."
Yeah.
But I know
so this will not replace the 888 roads. So this will be in addition to.
Or in addition to?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It probably wouldn't be a good idea to get rid of the number.
I understand that, but this is gonna facilitate.
The 92
It's
people.
designed to facilitate or an addendum to the.
It's going to amplify accessibility for getting those issues resolved quicker.
Okay.
So it's going to make it easier for the general public to, if they're comfortable with submitting requests online for
Okay.
things like that, to be able to submit a request online. But also to the point that was previously made, having the other avenues available will remain in place.
Okay, so this is an addendum pretty much.
Uh,
Yeah.
with regard to roads, that's a little bit of an exception rather than rule.
Okay.
There's a lot of different departments and divisions across
Okay.
the county
Mhm.
where somebody might need help with something that today there's no way for them to just go to the website and submit a request to get help for
Okay.
and have that actually be trackable from the time they submitted their request until the time it gets closed out. And that's what this is going to help facilitate. Again, the specific example I'll give you today is for the ombudsman for the, county executive's office. He has no way of, easily having a system in place that says, this person submitted, a complaint yesterday. I took action on it within 2 hours and I resolved it within 3 days. This platform will help them track that. Will help them report out on those kinds of things. And again, it fully digitizes the process so that, so that at the end of the day, you're not really manually doing anything. So then take that and amplify that kind of scenario across all the different divisions and departments across the county that are manually doing things today. And that's where the potential of this platform lies.
Okay, so is it safe to say that this is sort of like an interface?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not
Yeah.
an actual, so I'm 92 years old. Well, I'm not 92, but if I was 92 years old and I was not literate,
Yeah.
I mean, how does that help me as a citizen? If I need to get an issue resolved, do it.
If you have an issue and you're comfortable with the website,
Okay,
going to the website, this will give you an entry point for all the services that are available at the county
okay,
to be able to submit a request for any department that has services being offered through
Yes.
the platform
yes,
in that one spot at any time, day or night. And that request then will get processed the same way
Okay.
in a very cohesive manner,
sure.
providing continuity of service across all of our departments and divisions of the county, whereby in the past, maybe that hasn't happened. They have to call somebody, they have to go to an office, they have to,
Yeah.
travel
Okay.
somewhere in order to get help with something.
Okay.
This will eliminate those things and kind of cut that time down quite a bit, hopefully. Again.
That sounds good. So just finally, to recapitulate, the young lady who sat here yesterday talked about, I called 8 times, can't get anything resolved. Does she continue to call or how does she get her issue resolved? Is what I'm saying, I guess. With this new process,
Yeah, so with this new
if it's
process,
applicable.
in theory, the issue that she needed help with,
Mhm.
that shows up in our OneView service
Okay.
request page.
Okay.
She goes to the website, it says,
Mhm.
I need help. What do you need help with? She picks the item she needs help with. She either registers an account or says, I don't want to register an account. I'm going to submit this request anonymously. I'll just give you my email address, later. Submits the request, and then she can go back to the website and track the processing of the request in real time,
Okay.
as it's occurring until it gets closed out.
Okay. And not call her commissioner, right? Like Colleen was saying earlier. Call his office.
In theory, if she needs help with her commissioner and right now she's calling the commissioner, in the future, maybe she just goes to OneView and says, hey, I need help from the commissioner, submits a request for the commissioner's office, and the commissioner gets back to her through OneView.
Okay.
In theory, that could potentially happen in the future.
Hey, you pretty good. Thank you. Nice answer. Okay.
And
Thank you.
I think this, is meeting people in needs where people are at. So we have telephones, we have email, and this was another service. Did you have another question, Commissioner?
Through the chair, I was just asking, is there a live chat option on the site? Because oftentimes that interaction is great to say, hey, I'm looking for this, and then they give you something. If not, but I did want to know if there's a live chat option or if you thought about a live chat option.
Not that I'm aware of. Ken, are you out there?
I am. There is a live chat option available. It is not included in this particular package, but we do have that available. But this is a good starting point. This is something that Greg and I talked about. The live chat, I think it was Commissioner Wilson or maybe Commissioner Killeen addressed as far as making sure that somebody is staffing that or responding to that. That's one of those big internal change management things that you would have to address before ever even thinking about chat. If you think about chat and the responsiveness of chat, so it really is one of those things that is more of a heavy lift internally versus necessarily technology. So just making sure that somebody is ready to answer that chat is probably the bigger thing rather than is chat available.
Thank you.
If that makes sense.
Okay, Commissioner Clean.
Yeah, just a couple more things, Madam Chair. You know, Commissioner Wilson, wait till the seniors can only deal with the IRS electronically. No, it's going to be serious damage. And following up on the last comment, I don't see your name, sir. That's exactly it. That if we don't have the backup behind the scenes, they're like, well, how is this new? I used to make phone calls and not get anything. Now I submit something electronically and I don't get anything. So a couple of things. When you report back to us, can you also give us a list? I'm still stunned that this isn't going of participating departments and non-participating departments so that we know that, you know, if it's that good of a management tool, I don't know why every department doesn't have to comply with it if it really does all this magical stuff. And the other thing would be, when this is ready to go, can you give commissioners a few options to get a training on it? Because I would like to hear it either from the company or from you folks. All right, let's get on your computer. Let's go through a few scenarios. This is how it works. Because we're still going to get the calls to our office. And I'm not kicking about that, right? That's part of our job. But so that the commissioners and their staff have some expertise on how to use this tool so we can help. Because it's the worst thing for people when they contact their government and they get nothing back, right? That's not what we're here for. So if I can make those two requests, that we know what departments are in, what departments are out, and a little training for commissioners and their staff, I think would go a long way into helping this be successful. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
I'm done.
Yeah, especially if somebody's calling our office and saying that they did this and then we don't know about it. So that's good. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you. So if I could get a motion for this item, please. Thank you, Commissioner Clean. In a second, Commissioner Wilson, please vote on your tablets.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next item, please.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I know of none. Next item, please.
G, public comments.
Is there any emails, anyone on the phone, or?
No emails were received and no one on Zoom with a hand raised.
Okay. Anyone in the audience that would like to make public comment? Okay. Going once, twice. Okay, public comment is now closed. Thank you. So all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.